Hello everyone, welcome back to another Magic Girls Explained video. Today we'll be talking about the second main character, Yachiyo Nanami, and her story and info. My previous video was on your Tamaki, so check that out too. Anyway, let's get started. Yachiyo Nanami is 19 years old, and she formed her contract when she was 12 to become a magic girl. She is 165 centimeters tall, and her eyes and hair are blue. And she's originally from Shinsei Ward in Kumihama City. Her soul gem is a blue crescent moon located beneath her chest as a little necklace, and her weapon is the halberd, a two-headed pole weapon, a weapon that was used in the 14th, 15th, and 16th centuries. Her wish in Doppel is Campanella, and her wish is to survive. I want to survive. That is her wish. Her known family members is her unnamed grandmother, who is now deceased. She goes to Kimihama University and is a first year. Her magical girl element is Aqua element, and her ability is to receive hope, take over the power of the deceased. Yachiyo's magical girl summary: a seasonal magical girl who fights witches for 7 years in Kimihama. Yachiyo is well informed about the city and magic girls in general. She keeps her distance from other magical girls, while she complies files and rumors of Kimihama City. Campanella Doppel description: like Iro, Yachiyo's Doppel has a 2020 anime card. As like I before I read, the anime card reads the Doppel taking. Her form is a ticket puncher. This Doppel color is a replica of a ticket taking. When her soul gem turns black, both of Yachiyo's hands and her left leg transform and assume this form. Since this form who uses this Doppel has been a magical girl for a long time and is getting older aged than other girls, the range of her emotions is completely smaller compared to those of actually young girls. As a result, the Doppel is unable to completely separate herself from the magical girl's body and occasionally assumes a form where the owner and the Doppel are fused into one. In the game reads, the Doppel of Abilities. Its form is a ticket puncher. The master of this Doppel dreams of one day she will begin her journey, following in the footsteps of all the friends she has parted from her. The light from the lantern at the end of her Doppel's tail can call forth a myriad of illusions, and the scissors are said to cause great devastation in the near future of those who have been harmed by them. As magic girls get older, the emotional range becomes smaller, and such is the case for this master, who couldn't separate her body from her own Doppel. Yachiyo's main story. Like Igor, Yachiyo has a main story to the main story of Magic Record. I will only be talking about magic girls who have been shown in the main story of Magic Record. Others that have not or just made cameos and did not talk will not be introduced with main stories or had anything to do with the plot of the main story. Anyways, let's get on with the story. In the main story, Yachiyo is cold and untrusted. She acts like the Homer of Magic Record. In the 2020 anime, she meets Idor and Kuro after saving them from the sandcastle witch Zenobia. She acts annoyed and cold and tells them that they're on West Side Magical Girl territory and should not be hunting witches there, and to leave immediately after giving them the grief seeds from the battle of the two witches, the second witch being the Boxford witch who was killed by Zenobia. They apologized and then left. In the 2017 game, Yachiyo encounters Iora when she is talking with Momoko Togame about the rumors. Momoko then got into an argument with Yachiyo, and this escalated when Yachiyo tried to harm the small Cube. It's unknown why she did it. After the argument is settled, Yachiyo leaves. She then comes into contact with Iora again when Iora moves into the boarding house that Yachiyo owns, passed down to her by her grandmother, who is now dead. Yachiyo goes to college and is the first year. Iro, who moved in because her parents are overseas, she had to transfer schools. Yachiyo tells Itawa strange things have been happening in Kimihama and warns her to avoid them and other magic girls who will be unwanted with Itawa around the area. But Itawa gets stuck with Momoko, Rena, and Keed after Keed is taken by the loss of the ending rented staircase. Yachiyo comes to help and successfully rescues Keed. Yachiyo then reveals to Itawa that she has been hunting down the Uwasas as they are the ones causing the strange things happening. Itawa then joins Yachiyo on the case to hunt down the other Uwasas. In return, Yachiyo helps Itawa find her lost sister Ui Tamaki. They then encounter Tsuruno Yuri, Felicia Mitsuki, and Sana Futaba as they uncover the rumors of Kimihama. During the battle of the second Uwasa Sengon Shrine, Itawa unlocks her Doppel and kills the Uwasa, to Tsuruno and Yachiyo's shock. They encounter Mami Tomoe, who mistakes Itawa as a witch in human form. In the 2017 game, Mami attacks, but then is stopped by Momoko Kogame and intervenes. In the 2020 anime, Yachiyo is able to stop Mami before any fights break out. They then find that there is a magical girl group called the Wings of Magius who are protecting the Uwasas and also witches. Two of the main leaders are Itawa's sisters Ui friends and who claim not to know Ui. Toka Satomi one of the leaders says Ui is just a figment of Itawa's imagination. During this, Yachiyo comes to get Itawa, Tsuruno, Sana, and Felicia after they went to the Marine Museum, only to discover that the Wings of Magius revealed the truth about the magical girls to them, and that she was too late. Yachiyo's memories show that she had two magical girl friends who were killed in battle, that being Mel Anna and Kaide Yukino. Ira comes to Yachiyo and forgives for going to the Memory Museum. Yachiyo Nanami's side story. Yachiyo's side story begins a year before Itawa comes to Kimihama. Yachiyo is having Momoko, Keed, and Rena over to her house. Yachiyo leaves for a second and Keed admires how big Yachiyo's house is. Momoko explains that it used to be a boarding house, the reason why it was big. It turns out that this was the second time Keed and Rena met Yachiyo. Rena says this is the first time she was fighting a witch, and that it was named a witch by the name of Shimishi. Was the first time they encountered Yachiyo. Momoko says that they became when they ran into each other. Turns out Momoko met Yachiyo 2 years ago, right when she became the magic girl herself. She also says she sometimes teams up with her. Keed admired that Yachiyo has 6 years of experience as being a magical girl. Momoko tells Keed not to bring it up as Yachiyo believes it sounds old memories. Yachiyo returns with snacks afterwards. They as magic girls need to get along. Momoko let Keed and Rena ask Yachiyo questions about her, since she couldn't think of one herself. Keed asked what Yachiyo's favorite food was, and Yachiyo said it was soba. The questions the girls asked were safe ones. Afterwards, Yachiyo left to make tea. Rena helps herself by eating the rest of Yachiyo's donut she left behind. Once Yachiyo came back, she quickly noticed that her donut was gone, and by the crumbs on Rena's face, she knew she was the culprit. Rena apologized for eating the donut, and Yachiyo forgives her. She explains how she knew Rena was the one who ate her donut, by the sugar and crumbs of the donut on Rena's lips. Momoko points out that they ate all the donuts. Keita and Momoko say that Yachiyo is a detective, but Yachiyo says it will be an insult to Holmes and Poirot for calling Yachiyo a detective. Once it got late, Momoko, Rena, and Keed get ready to leave. However, Keed remembers they had to ask Yachiyo something. Momoko asks Yachiyo if there's still more time to tell her. Yachiyo lets them. Momoko explains if she knows who the dueling girl is. They only know about the dueling girl from another magical girl, and it's apparently another magical girl who randomly challenged other magical girls, hence the name Dueling Girl. Yachiyo didn't know, but thanks them for bringing it up to her attention. Yachiyo thinks she has to protect Momoko, Keed, and Rena, and wonders who the dueling girl is. Several days later, Momoko's group and Yachiyo encounters the dueling girl, who introduces herself as Tsuruno Yuri. She wants to turn honor to her family. its name. She says she will defeat them all for the great ambition. But when it asks to explain it, her grand ambition, Trina says she will not waste a breath and gets ready to attack. Yachiyo explains she will not fight without a reason. Then Trina admits that she wants to be the strongest magical girl. Rena doesn't understand, and Yachiyo agrees to be Trina's opponent. As the battle begins, the other girls see how strong Trina is. Trina is unable to land a hit on Yachiyo. However, when Trina sees her opening, she attacks Yachiyo, but Yachiyo disappears. Trina realizes it was a fake. She hears the real Yachiyo behind her as she says the one that she attacked was only a dummy. Yachiyo used her magic to tie up Trina with a rope. Trina, seeing her defeat, asks Yachiyo to finish her off. Momoko and Ki just asked her to finish the fight then. But Yachiyo considered Trina's request. She appeared to attack, but actually was taking off the rope on Trina. Yachiyo then tells Trina to stop dueling other magical girls or else she will get into some real trouble later on someday. Yachiyo asks Trina why she wants to be the strongest magical girl. Trina says it's to get honor. Yachiyo asks, does it mean to hurt a lot of people? Trina denies that, and she says she wants to become the strongest magical girl who prepares evil. Trina then asks for another fight, which ended up to be 6 fights more later. Each time, Yachiyo won. Yachiyo stops fighting and asks Trina if she had any grief seeds. Trina said it was none of her business. Yachiyo says if she doesn't have any, she can't fight Trina anymore. She also says she cannot forgive magical girls who hurt others. She says Trina doesn't have the strength, that being a magical girl is difficult. She also says that she cannot become friends with her. This makes Trina upset and she runs off crying. Yachiyo wonders if Trina understands. This also made Yachiyo admit she was at the end of her own rope as well. Several days later, Momoko and her team run into Trina again. Ki ran to get Yachiyo, while Rena and Momoko dealt with Trina. While Ki came back with Yachiyo, Momoko was knocked out. Rena claims Trina used magic to make the place dark and knock out Trina, and then knock out Momoko. But Trina says she can't use magic like that. Yachiyo looks at Trina and agrees she can't. And then she attacks Trina. It turns out that the Trina Yachiyo attack was actually a familiar. Yachiyo claims that the witch had set a trap and the real Trina Yuri was captured by the witch. Ki, Rena, and Yachiyo defeat the witch and save Trina. Rena claims Yachiyo is a detective and how she was able to figure it out. Yachiyo says if you concentrate on the enemy, you can roughly sense the physiological state. Yachiyo still says she's not a detective, and that using supernatural abilities is against the rules of mysteries. Trina starts saying she's completely lost, and asks Yachiyo to be her mentor. Once Momoko wakes up, Rena explains what happened when she was passed out. Trina has stopped dueling the other magical girls. She has not become an apprentice to Yachiyo, but become a friend to Yachiyo and Momoko's team. It's also explained that in the future, the bond between them would be shattered due to a future incident. But back then, Yachiyo believes that she would protect everyone no matter what. Yachiyo also knows that witches also have tricks up their sleeves, and that is she will be careful from now on. Yachiyo's abilities. As shown in the manga adaptation, Yachiyo uses water magic, and is capable of creating shields and spears out of water. She can use magic even when not transformed. This is later confirmed in the anime when her attack on the friendship staircase of Wasa in episode 3 created a large wave of water. For a time, Yachiyo believed her wish-given ability was to survive at the expense of others. Thus, if she were to make friends or become a leader of a group, these people would die in all ways that she would be the one to survive. Eventually, she realized her true power was to inherit hope, which made her extraordinarily stronger when others believed in her. Thanks to the hope of Kane Yukino and Mel Anna, Even after they died, she was able to make an incredible power and retrain her image strength even as she got older. Most magical girls tend to get weaker as they become older. Thanks to her experience and inherited hope, she's able to create hundreds, if not thousands, of her halberd. She can firmly remotely control these, use them to floating steps, and can launch them at enemies at large range velocity, or connect them together to make a beam of halberds. After realizing her true power, Yachiyo used her abilities to inherit the hope of all the magical girls in Kimihama, and control her to help her defeat Walpurgis does not. She uses incantation with magic harvested by Ui Tamaki and converted by Toka Satomi, and finally given to Iro Tamaki. However, because she was also replenished and the hope of Kaide and Male had placed in her, she could only use this power once, after which she would begin to weaken like age, like Mifio did. Where she is used the power once more, it's possible it would accelerate her weakening. Yachiyo Nanami's name meanings. Yachiyo's last name means seven in ocean. Please ignore that. Yachiyo's name means seven in ocean. Respectfully, Yachiyo in hiragana has no specific meaning. However, written in kanji, it means thousands of years. 2 fun facts about Yachiyo. Fact 1. Yachiyo's Japanese voice actor is Sora Aoyama, who is known for voicing Aqua from Koyasoba, Kasumi Yoshizawa from Persona 5 Royal, and Akame from Akame ga Kill. As for English voice actor is Erica Holliker, who voices Aunt Tamaki in Persona 5 and Royal and Scramble. She is also the voice for Gina Crawford in The Legend of Heroes, Tales of Cold and Steel 3 and 4. Fact 2. In the anime, her rope and beaded headpiece is redesigned, instead having feathers or laces of fabric. Although in her game sprite, live 2D model, and card art are unchanged, this redesign is used in the transformation sequence of Itara and Yachito final battle version. And at the end of the video, this is the end of the video, the next magical girl we're going to be talking about is True no Yuri. Be sure to subscribe, you know the rest, and I'll see you next time I upload a video. Bye bye!